Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade, states can ban abortion. In a concurring Dobbs opinion by Justice Clarence Thomas, he says that SCOTUS should reconsider all of this court's substantive due process precedents, including Griswold, Lawrence, and Obergefell. That's contraception, same-sex relationships, same-sex marriage. Tweet with opinion text, the official decision, PDF. Thomas just said in his concur to reconsider Griswold, Lawrence, and Obergefell. What the hell is happening? Minutes after SCOTUS decision, states are making abortion illegal. The concurring opinion explicitly states that they have a right to revisit the cases that legalized gay marriage and gay sex because they are now based on erroneous logic. Hold tight, because it will get a lot worse. DHS warns of potential violent extremist activity in response to abortion ruling. What are they gonna do? Firebomb abortion clinics? Oh wait. Lamau, it's so funny how the riot police went to protect the Capitol. Like, where did you all go Jan 6? I'm so sick of the insane willful ignorance the people in power have. Why haven't the attacks on abortion clinics for years been addressed? Why can't this country just be fucking normal? What the hell happened under me Lamau? Oh, but it wasn't so worrisome when gallows were constructed for congressman and the vice president? The same organization that knew about the January 6th insurrection and said and did nothing? They called slave rebellions acts of violent extremist activity too. But I call them a natural consequence of oppression. You should expect people who have been denied bodily autonomy to be violent. Violence begets violence. Abortion banned in Missouri as trigger law takes effect, following Supreme Court ruling. The 13 trigger law states: Arkansas, Idaho, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Wyoming, and Alabama, Arizona, Michigan, North Carolina, West Virginia and Wisconsin still have their pre-Roe abortion bans on the books. Abortion pills over the counter? I wonder how many fertility clinics will get wary since they don't always implant fertilized eggs. Illinois is expecting to be a safe haven for a lot of pregnant Midwestern women seeking abortion care. The first of many to follow. Time to follow Iceland's lead and shut the country down. There is going to be a rise in child abuse and dead infants buried in backyards. Not to mention home abortions that end up killing women and suicides. This is just so scary because this is going to cause an avalanche of laws that are unjust and inhumane. Texas shooting school where 19 pupils and 2 teachers were shot dead is to be demolished. Let's start by having the chief resign. This story just keeps getting worse. It was revealed today the husband of one of the killed teachers was an officer who responded to the shooting. She called him from the room, told him she was shot and dying. When he attempted to go in, they restrained him, took his gun and removed him from the location. Then went back to doing nothing, knowing at least one person was bleeding to death in there. Will the new school have instructions on the doors explaining to cops how they work? They'd rather demolish an entire school than fire a single cop over this. How about building a new school, demolish the police building and then move the police into the old school building? I think demolishing the police department and rebuilding that should be the first priority. Officer husband of slain Uvalde teacher tried to save her. His gun was taken away. The shooter himself had to be wondering what these clowns were doing. Man. Where's the fucking bottom of this shit? Fucking supervillain origin story level shit. Mireles ended up bleeding out on the way to the hospital. She would have had a much better chance at living had the room been stormed an hour earlier. I can't see why the people involved haven't been fired yet. They all didn't do their jobs. Wow, that's going to be a toxic workplace. Imagine your friends forcefully restraining you as you are attempting to save your spouse's life and failed as a result, but the other officers at the scene went in and removed their children and just their own children from the scene. I'm still trying to figure out the difference between a what the police actually did versus b what the police would have done if they were trying to help the shooter. I felt very unsafe. Parents speak out after Proud Boys show up at children's library event. First time they ever set foot in a library. Nothing screams alpha male like harassing children in a library. I think it's well past time to officially label the Proud Boys a terrorist organization. The way these Proud Boys keep turning up at child events worries me. I think their hard drives need checking. Fuck this. Who goes to the public library to intimidate women and children? These assholes have been searching their whole life, since high school ended, to feel special again. Fucking sad. I also want to make sure that people know there is evidence that the police not only did nothing to stop this, they seem to have escorted the racists, and I am sure some of them friends and family of the cops, into the event. World Swimming bans transgender athletes from women's events. I 100% support trans people and they should be free to live their lives without judgment. But I can't get behind them competing in women's sports. There's just too much of a biological advantage. It's just common sense. No hate involved whatsoever. Yep. Seems like the obvious answer. More like World Swimming defends women's swimming. At least some people still have critical thinking skills. Just need to stop the discussion already and make this easy. Split sports into sexes not genders. Female sex league. Sounds dirty but didn't intend to be. Why make that article title if you're going to contradict yourself with the second sentence? FINA members widely adopted a new gender inclusion policy on Sunday that only permits swimmers who transition before age 12 to compete in women's events. Starbucks used an array of illegal tactics against unionizing workers, labor regulators say. In other news, Starbucks just reassigned a bunch of employees from their flagship store to other locations without warning. Coincidentally, the store is working towards a union vote in the next month, and some or all of the leaders in that effort were themselves reassigned. I keep seeing how Starbucks and Amazon are breaking the rules with unions, but nothing is happening and they keep breaking them. Starbucks opposes the unionization effort, arguing the company runs better when dealing directly with its employees. Runs better for people at the top. I am shocked, flabbergasted even. Who would have seen this coming? You expect any business to play right when it comes to unions? If they played right, unions wouldn't be needed. Monkey in bulletproof vest found dead after bloody cartel shootout in Mexico. Photos from the scene of a shootout Tuesday in Texcaltitlan with police in which 11 drug gang members died, showed a small monkey dressed in a tiny camouflage jacket and a tiny bulletproof vest sprawled across the body of a dead gunman who was apparently his owner. Authorities in the state of Mexico confirmed the authenticity of the photos, and said it was unclear whether the monkey, which was also wearing a diaper, died in the hail of bullets that killed his owner. I did not have this on my bingo card. This story is sad and hilarious at the same time. On one hand, a monkey in a tiny camo vest and tiny bulletproof vest make me think this monkey was also doing lines of coke with strippers and was actively part of the shootout, swinging in the trees dispatching motherfuckers. On the other, it's a little monkey that was probably scared and the owner loved his monkey. He got a little vest for it because he knew shit was going down. The cartel is fucking evil incarnate. Cheech Marin's Riverside Museum of Chicano Art officially opens. This is a dear dream. My buddy Carlos Donjuan from Dallas, Texas has a painting in that collection and was there this weekend. Looks super dope. In 2018 I passed through El Paso, where Marin's collection was featured at the time. Such a cool and varied collection, from folklore to modern. Glad it's moving to a bigger city. A little off topic, but Cheech had a room reserved at a hotel I worked at years ago. He reserved it under the name Dick Gozina. How long has the museum been in Riverside? A week. I mean a day. Well, which is it? A week or a day? A weekday. Mexican Americans don't like to get up early, but they have to because they gotta open up a museum. Man arrested for stealing sausage rolls killed himself after police labeled him a pedophile. Genuinely depressing to read on so many levels. Cleveland police. For my fellow Americans, this happened in the UK, not Ohio. The same local department were also implicated in the Jimmy Savile scandal. There's a horrific Netflix documentary about the failures of the police to catch a known predator. Not an easy watch. Savile's influence resulted in a conspiracy cover-up to 400 sexual assault offenses between 1955-2009. Sounds to me like the Cleveland police deserve an audit. Oh, I had something like this happen to me. I reported a theft and was charged with grand larceny. I had a warrant issued for my arrest. Yes, I reported a theft. I was then charged with grand larceny and had a warrant issued for my arrest. No, I didn't steal anything, nor did any evidence suggest I did. Took me 9 months to clear my name. Oh yay. When asked what I was accused of stealing, the answer was we don't know. Weirdest fucking bullshit ever. No, I wasn't arrested, thankfully. Supreme Court rules against New York's gun permit law. One can only imagine the Ninth Circuit starting to nervously look around, wondering if the Supreme Court was talking about it when the court junked the two-part test. So, does this overturn all states that require you to prove necessity in order to acquire a CCP? I'm specifically asking for our Hawaii, since concealed carry is legal here but it has to be approved by the sheriff, and they require you to show necessity and nobody gets approved. I remember living in New York 15 years ago and we were talking to people and one close to me said, "Don't worry, I know someone so we can get a permit issued." It just hit me how crazy it is that we had to know someone. It just sounds corrupt. Reminder that May issue is a Jim Crow-era law primarily used to disarm black people. There are plenty of conversations we can and should have about guns, but this corrects a historical wrong. Off-duty officer under investigation after woman assaulted at protest in Providence, police say. This is like the opposite of a clickbait title and I feel like that was done intentionally for some reason. This story is more nuts than the title suggests. Republican candidate for state senate. The cop attacked his Democratic opponent at a rally she organized. At least the good news is that he dropped out of the race after this. That title does not do the story justice. Also post the video please. Comments section about this in the Daily Mail. I don't blame him. What's his side of the story? And she no doubt did something to provoke it. Pretty important context. The officer is running against the woman he assaulted in a state senate race. Police and women beating. Name a more iconic duo, More accurate description: white male running for state senate punches his black female opponent in the face, then hides behind uniformed police. He is of course no longer running for that office, but instead of being fired immediately he is on paid leave while the incident is investigated. It's on video.